Peace, peace, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the One Podcast. Again, I'm guestless today. This is another sort of quick, some thoughts on, something I've been thinking about and wanted to share. Awareness and integration and sort of the difference between the two things. So for me, personally developing myself consists of two things. There's an awareness portion and an integration portion. So awareness of a pattern or a thought or behavior, a belief is a necessary step to get to the work that needs to be done. You can't do anything about something unless you're aware of it. So there's the subconscious awareness, where you notice things in which you believe to be true about yourself. Like, this is who I am. The awareness of I'm shy and quiet developed into a characteristic which hindered my expression. But I believed so much that I was a quiet and shy person through people telling me and delivering that message over and over and over again throughout the years, that it lowered into my subconscious as a character trait. And I identified with, this is who I am. Soon enough, what entered into my awareness was the frustration of wanting to be expressive and not understanding how to do it without there being some level of discomfort or self-criticism. And I fought this for a good portion of my life. The second level of awareness came when I realized the impact this belief was having on my life. Like, no one really got to know who I was. No one knew where I stood on ideas, topics, opinions. No one got to know me, the true me. And this impacted all of my relationships, including the one with myself. I didn't even know who I was. So there has to be an awareness of the impact and the root of whatever issue or struggle you're dealing with within yourself, because it's all within. And then now we enter that liminal space of awareness. So it's that stage that is considered the space of like disorientation, where you start to question and seek answers, where you can begin to explore this awareness about yourself. It's the middle stage before reaching sort of that full consciousness and integration. This is where you're like on the verge of something. I didn't get to this stage for years regarding my shy, quiet belief. After seeing like failed relationship after failed relationship, I began to see my own responsibility in that failure. I began to see my own contribution to the failure. While this can seem shitty, it can also be empowering. I was empowered by the knowledge that I was responsible, because that meant that I could change. I could change my own state, my own beliefs about myself. That was the only thing I could control, and that's it. That's the only thing I can control. And the final thing, and I think the most important, is integration. We can get all the awareness in the world, all the insights. That's all great. But without integrating it, nothing changes. This is where we get to implement what we've learned about ourselves. We put it into action in real life. And none of it is comfortable. But we get to put it into action in real life and see the miracles that happen when you begin to make different choices. Life is always the same, but it's when you change that life takes on a new perspective. And when that starts to happen, life shows up differently. Life begins to move for you, and you show up fully yourself in the world. I started to speak my mind when I knew something wasn't right. I began to communicate in a way that honored who I was in the world. And I started to see how people responded and how opportunities began to show up for me and how in sync I felt with myself. So awareness is great. It's the first key, the first step, but integration is also incredibly important because life is so beautiful and natural when we allow all of life experience to come in, because it's all here to teach us, even the loss, even the pain, even the struggle. So doing the work is the process of allowing ourselves to experience and experiment with life in a way that nurtures our growth. And that's what I believe we are here to do. Thank you for listening. Catch you next time. Peace.